Welcome to the Kinza Finance Real Yield Vision podcast. In this podcast, we deep dive into Kinza Finance and our partners to learn what they've built, why they've built, and get up to speed with current and upcoming developments. You'll discover new opportunities and new ways to maximize your positions on Kinza Finance. I'm Ian, Director of Communications and Business Development at Kinza, and I'll be your host. Please remember that everything discussed in this podcast is not intended as financial advice. Always do your own research and seek independent advice before making any investment decisions. In this episode, we speak with Jason, Business Development at pufETH Finance, Asia Pacific region, to discuss pufETH Finance, early project successes, liquid staking, pufETH, and strategies for pufETH on Kinza Finance. Let's dive in. Hello, Jason. Thanks for joining me on the podcast. We're excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and I'm very happy to be here with you, Ian.
Yeah, awesome. Happy to get the chance to chat with you today. So there's a lot of energy in the crypto market at the moment. I thought it would be a great time to discuss liquid staking and get into some details about pufETH, staking, and some of the other opportunities users can take advantage of, including putting pufETH and Kinza to work together. But let's kick things off by getting a bit of history about pufETH. So
Yeah,
how and when did pufETH start, and what inspired the very first steps?
for sure. That's a great question. So pufETH actually started back in 2023, founded by our founders, Amir and Jason. They were very inspired by the cutting-edge Ethereum staking research, especially work from Ethereum Foundation researcher Justin Drake himself. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. And what was the ideas you were seeing with that cutting edge Ethereum staking research? What was that initial inspiration, and what were you looking towards?
Right. And the big idea was to tackle two major pain points in Ethereum staking. One, the sky-high 32 ETH requirement to run a validator that prices out a lot of users, and there's the growing centralization in staking, right? As big
Yeah.
pools and exchanges dominate the scene. So I think our founders and our team wanted to make Ethereum staking more open, more decentralized, and honestly just more accessible to regular folks who wants to be part of this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The 32 ETH is it's a really high bar. Just looking at current prices, that's over 120,000 USD. So that's a lot. And with the accessibility being central to the driving philosophy behind cryptocurrency innovation, I think, yeah, universal staking is definitely a worthwhile mission.
Yeah. 32 ETH is indeed really a high bar to reach for many retail users, and that's why we are here to lower the barrier to entry to just, a minimum of just 2 ETH, right? We believe
Yeah.
that users should be able to access staking easily and freely, like what you mentioned, right? And the whole point is having accessibility in crypto itself, right?
Yeah, 100%. And so with that idea in mind, what were some of the, I guess, early special moments or early notable moments in the pufETH history?
Great question. There were really a few milestones that got us really excited. First of all, we raised about 650,000 in a pre-seed round with Jump Capital leading the charge. And then sometime late in 2023, we scored another 120,000 grant from the Ethereum Foundation itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a great beginning, kickstarting development, and really make solid progress on the pufETH vision with that. So with that, what about on the product side, some early moments?
Right. So on the product side, we launched our mainnet sometime in May 2024, and that was
Yeah.
really a huge deal for us. And we hit about $1 billion in TVL in just like 16 days, which was really a world record in DeFi itself, right?
Yes, I remember following that. It was pretty incredible to watch. 1 billion TVL is a huge launch. Is there anything else that comes to mind?
There's also the unified testnet launch, which really introduced our base rollup technology, and of course, our pufETH token launch, and that really opened up community governance as well. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, you've already mentioned a lot of cool stuff so far. So how about we shift gears a bit and jump into some of the Puffer products? So uh,
Sure.
what are the Puffer products that are currently live now?
Right. Maybe I can make introduction to our core products. So we have a few core products live right now. First, that's the Puffer LRT. So that's our
Yeah.
liquid restaking token. You stake your ETH, stake ETH, rep stake ETH, or rep ETH, and you get Puff ETH in return. And that token actually grows in value as it earns rewards. We also have our node operator program, which is super cool because it lets you run an Ethereum validator with as little as 1 to 2 ETH instead of the usual 32 ETH.
Yeah, there we go. That's really cool. With that reduction in ETH for being a validator, you had that pain point when Puffer was envisioned with that barrier to entry for validators in your sites, and you've already achieved bringing down that barrier entry down almost 32 times from 32 ETH to a possible 1 ETH there. So yeah, big kudos to the team for that success. Um, Before we get back to some of your products, I think maybe it would be a good idea to take a bit of a detour and explore liquid staking itself as a concept, if that sounds good.
Yep, sounds good. Let's do it.
Great. So, yeah, let's talk about liquid staking. Maybe you could just, to begin with, give a brief overview of what liquid staking even is.
Sure. So I think most of our listeners or audience would know
Yeah.
staking is how you help to secure the network. You lock up your ETH to participate in consensus and you earn rewards. But traditionally, this comes with a big trade-off. Your ETH is tied up and you are unable to use it for anything else until you unstake, which can take up some time, right?
Right. And just to clarify for what that looks like, you would stake your ETH via your wallet, approving the transfer of your ETH to a locked up contract. So by tied up, you mean that the ETH you own, while it's earning you rewards, it's out of your hands for that time when it's in the staking contract, which then makes it impossible to utilize in any other way.
That's correct. And so the difference with liquid staking is that it allows you to deposit your assets into, say, our protocol Puffer, and in return you get a token, right? A receipt token like PuffETH that represents your staked position, right? This token
Yeah.
isn't just a receipt itself; it's a fully tradable asset. You can sell it, you can lend it out, you can use it as collateral in DeFi, such as Kinza, or do pretty much anything you would do with regular ETH.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, your original ETH is still staked and earning network rewards. So these rewards accrue over time, and the value of your pufETH token grows to reflect these rewards.
Right. Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's the beauty of liquid staking. You are staking, so utility that is there, it's still at work with the staked assets being put to work, securing the network, so on and so forth. But at the same time, with the liquid staking, you still maintain the liquidity, and you can put that value of your assets to work while still earning your rewards. Very cool.
Right. And from a technical standpoint, that is a major leap in capital efficiency, right?
Yeah.
Staking normally locks away your assets, and that creates an opportunity cost. You can't use that ETH elsewhere while it's staked, but with liquid staking, you're earning staking yields, and you can deploy that same capital in other DeFi strategies. We think it's a win-win for both individual users and the broader
Yeah.
ecosystem, right? Because it it lowers the barrier to participation and keeps more assets actively working across the network.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win. Amazing. Okay, so back to Puffer products. Now that we know about liquid staking a little bit, we've got pufETH, which unlocks so much yield potential with capital efficiency in DeFi. Let's explore some of the other products out there or in development at Puffer.
Sure. So currently we are also rolling out our pre-confirmation AVS, and to make it easy to understand in layman's
Yes.
term, it is a game changer for people using Ethereum rollup. You used to need 12 seconds to get a solid confirmation on your transaction, but now with pre-conf, you can get that peace of mind in about 100 milliseconds.
That's
And
awesome.
really, what that means is that when a user sends a transaction on a rollup, our pre-conf AVS gives users instant execution level guarantees,
Hmm.
even before the transaction gets written on chain. So if you're placing an order or swapping tokens, you know upfront that it's locked in at the exact state you expect.
Yeah.
No price slippage or any state change in between. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. There can be so many unseen issues that emerge in situations like swapping tokens, as you mentioned, with price slippage and changes that can happen really quickly. So, getting that peace of mind and assurance in a transaction is in something that's as important as a swap. That's really phenomenal progress.
Yeah, and um, behind the scenes, we're actually leveraging EigenLayer's powerful restaking infrastructure. So there's about 3 million ETH resting as economic security. And so if something does go wrong, there's
Hmm.
real accountability and slashing in place, right? Plus, the way we sort of split roll out rewards is smarter. Profits are shared between Ethereum proposers and rollout owners. So
That's
this
cool.
makes things so much more fairer for everyone helping to secure and to grow the system ecosystem.
That's very cool. Yeah, I'll be keeping up to date with all these developments. Um, maybe back. Let's head back a little bit to pufETH. What makes Puffer liquid staking stand out?
Right. I would say it's the way we approach the concept of staking itself. Firstly, we are the first native liquid restaking protocol on EigenLayer. So
Hmm.
users are not just earning Ethereum staking rewards, they're also earning extra rewards from restaking, which is securing other apps and networks.
Right. And just to touch on that, Egan layer, it's sort of another layer of restaking that puts your staked assets to work even more for further yield. Is that right?
Right. And another key interesting point would be our unique validator ticket system, right? We let anybody run a validator, not just big players, right? And
Hmm.
this really creates a whole market around validator operations. Plus, right, node operators actually get to keep 100% of their rewards, which
Hmm.
is pretty rare.
Yeah.
And everything's permissionless, right? Meaning you can run a validator if you choose to, and you can take advantage of the restaking rewards.
Beautiful. Yeah. Um, let's talk a little bit about Kinza and Puffer and what Kinza and Puffer built together. So Kinza has developed support for pufETH on Kinza for lending. And once a user has acquired pufETH, they can deposit it on Kinza Finance on Ethereum or BNB Chain for lending and borrowing. Currently, pufETH can be used as collateral to borrow ETH, BNB, or wrapped ETH. pufETH can be acquired from a variety of dexes, but the best bet is probably, I would say, for users to head over to Puffer Finance and deposit ETH for pufETH directly in that DApp for the best sort of on ramp. Can you expand how users could best take advantage of Puffer Finance solutions in tandem with secure lending provided at Kinza?
Yep, for sure. I think I can walk you through a possible looking strategies for pufETH on Kinza,
Cool.
right? The first step is to start off by supplying your pufETH on Kinza. Next, you could borrow wrapped ETH or, in fact, any of the collateral that you mentioned earlier against that pufETH collateral. Then, swap your borrowed asset or wrapped ETH back into pufETH
Hmm.
and supply that new pufETH back to Kinza. And so that will increase your total collateral. Repeat that a few more times and stay under the protocol's safe borrowing limits. I
Yep.
believe it's somewhere around 75%. And
Hmm.
based on our internal analysis, we did some checks and the percentage increase in yields against the baseline yields of just staking itself is over 140%. So
Hmm. Yeah. Looping.
if you're already earning yield on your ETH and you want to leverage it, I think this strategy might be an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so okay, so for all the Puffer users out there looking for a good platform to put a strategy like that one to use, check out Kinza DApp at app.kinza.finance. And for Kinza users, explore Puffer to learn more and discover further ways to maximize your Kinza positions with Puffer. Um, okay, so we know you've got a lot of exciting things in development also, so we'd love to hear of some of what we can look forward to in Puffer's future.
For sure. So Puffer is actually turning into a protocol launchpad.
Really?
Previously, we have made yield accessible to all users, big and small. Right
Yep.
now, we aim to make protocol developers and users experience so much better by providing this tooling for launching entire protocols. With the addition, of our unified technology that we bring both cheap and fast transactions to Ethereum, right? We without confusing users where to breach or where to stake their assets to. Yeah.
That's amazing. A launch pad. Yeah, that's going to be huge. So for all listeners, with all these things in development, be sure to follow Puffer and Kinza to keep track of all upcoming exciting announcements. And I, for one, will be keeping up to date and following them for sure. So yeah, thanks, Jason. This has been a great conversation. Thanks again for joining me today. I hope our users got a better overview of what Puffer has built and has to offer. And before we sign off, do you have any last words you would like to put out there into Web3 verse?
Yeah. I guess we are really thankful to partners like Kinza for having us, and we're on a great mission to make Ethereum great again through amazing products like Preconf AVS. Right. We hope that the audience will support us and watch us closely as we build more. Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, Jason. I'm looking forward to chatting soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yep. Thank you.
This has been the Kinza Real Yield Vision podcast. Make sure to follow the Kinza Finance Twitter and join our communities to keep up with all things Kinza. Thanks for listening. Until next time, lend, borrow, and hodl.